Episode 2 is all about Friends, the Eastern Shore of Maryland, monster meal, giant whitetails, and big A mosquitoes.
Coastal Maryland. You wouldn't think that these swamps would sustain a whitetail population being 12 miles from the Atlantic Ocean. But Maryland is home to some mega giant whitetails. And any effort you put in to harvest these deer will be well worth it.
I have several hunts planned for this year, but this is the hunt that I've been waiting for all summer.
This is one of my, it's kind of bittersweet because it's one of my favorite hunts of the year because of how close Danny and all of us have become, but it's also one of my most dreadful hunts of the year because I know just how smart these Eastern Shore whitetails are. You know, people don't give the Eastern Shore of Maryland hunters enough credit. We've been going up there for several years and we've seen firsthand just how tough they are to get close to or get close enough to harvest with a bow.
These swamp deer are just crazy smart. We want to make sure we do everything right. It's game time.
Oh, I'm gonna shoot him if he comes in. Right here. Can you see? You call it. Kill him or not. I can't see him. I can't see him. I can't shoot him.
Okay, it's time to go. I've got all my stuff packed up, my bow's ready, I'm ready to go. 2 days before we're getting ready to leave, I have a family emergency, can't go. Jason calls me on the phone, I tell him I can't go. His first words are, what's your feelings about me shooting Ward's buck?
Ward had some family emergencies at home he had to stay back and take care of, and guess what? Lucky me, I'm here.
So Chris's loss was Jason's gain. And he's Maryland bound with his expedition bow.
These bucks that we're hunting in Maryland are literally 4 to 5 miles away from the Atlantic Ocean. Let me tell you something, there's some fertile soil there, and I can promise you there are some big deer there.
Jason Bowers is at a local Maryland's taxidermy shop, the Wright Brothers, taking a look around and getting excited about being in Maryland.
Hey look, that one was on Red Rising.
It was. You know, a lot of people don't think coastal Maryland would have big deer, but obviously they've not been to the Wright Brothers. We come up here every year, meet with them, and just look at the deer people bring in because it never ceases to amaze me how big some of these deer are that run around in the swamps. Giants.
Early season hide, and it looks like that. You can do the same work on a late season, you won't see it. It's not that the work thing different, it's just you won't see it.
Dude, there's so much definition and character in that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that. Something's wrong with this bitch. We started hunting with Danny, we don't see none of these.
They're all here.
These are all Danny's deer before we started hunting with him. Now it's like, oh!
He gonna leave you guys the leftovers, man. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got a spot too if you really want to go.
Hey, I'll take your management deer every year, man. It's cool. We literally been driving since like 5:36 this morning, and first things first, I want to make sure the old bow's still shooting good, so.
So I'm hunting this bean field tonight. And I don't know if I'm gonna get a close shot. I don't know where he's coming out. All I know is he comes that way. So.
I was wondering why you had me out here in the road like 100 yards from this target, because I'm too small to shoot that far.
Well, sometimes you just gotta let one fly, you know what I mean?
And then I'll let you shoot, and then I'm gonna go up here about 40 yards closer. Get inside my range.
I think it's out of mine too. Let's see if we can cut some phone.
Well, he's dead.
I think I hit him in the neck.
I think you hit him in the ear.
I think I hit him in the nose.
Hey, that's a good shot, Danny. You hit him right below the antlers. You hit him in the front of the shoulder?
Hit him high.
Holy crap! He did. We're up here with Danny. We come every year. I mean, he actually set a fifth wheel camper up in the driveway for us to stay in this year. He's building a new house. You couldn't ask for a better guy to come hang out with. He's just been around. He's been in these swamps, and I mean, if you can hunt these deer up here and kill big deer, you can kill big deer anywhere.
We need you to support us, guys. So go over, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and every time we post something, you're gonna get that little bell going off, and you're gonna know instantly that you can go over and watch it and catch what's going on.
Jason Bowers is going to be able to hunt Ward's buck, a Maryland buck that friend Danny Calloway has been sending pictures all summer to Chris Ward. Chris can't make the hunt, so Jason is excited for the opportunity.
I have ran into a ton of people that love to hunt whitetail deer and are super passionate about growing whitetails. But Danny Calloway, he takes it to another level because he's hunting in one of the toughest places for whitetails on the planet.
I'm heading back in the woods. Got a protein station back here, feeder I built, and I've been keeping it jam full of protein pellets for just about the last 8 months. And it is unbelievable what it's done for these deer back here. Anybody with epilepsy do not watch this segment. Doing this stuff here, taking care of the deer. When hunting season's over and I'm out of the tree, I'm back in the woods and I'm taking care of my deer. We have hit a tree. I mean, I love doing this just as much as I do sitting in a deer stand. It's unbelievable what it's done for these deer back here. I mean, they've just exploded from what they were to what they are now, and that's in 8 months.
This year, the amount of work and determination he put into using supplemental feeding with Monster Meal blew us away.
So I got permission to hunt this spot last August. Now this is miles away. I think it's like 6 or 7 miles as the crow flies to the nearest crop field. These deer are totally isolated from everybody and they have nothing to eat. There's one little patch of oats.
Man, this year was super special because Danny started in March feeding some deer literally in the swamp that were basically 3.5 to 4 miles from the Atlantic Ocean.
This deer here, he has never left this property. I mean, he's got nowhere to go. I mean, it's not like he's gonna go move over here because there's something for him to eat over there. He lives in this marsh.
Big body's a 3-year-old, ain't he?
Yeah, he pretty much lives there. I mean, he doesn't go anywhere.
Had a 3.5-year-old buck that might have been 105 to 110 inches. Started feeding in March, fed all the way through summer.
So I went and bought a Boss Buck feeder and I started filling it full of Monster Meal. And the deer, I mean, basically in a matter of days, we're eating out of this thing. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I figured it was gonna take them a while to get used to it, but this deer was one of the first deer that came and started eating on it. He's a 3-year-old, and as you can see, he ain't got much. He's basically a big 4-pointer, no brats.
He took a 3.5-year-old whitetail and bumped him with Monster Meal.
That little 4-point rack has turned into this.
And where he got that buck in literally 5 months, still, it's blowing my mind.
So he had plenty of room to feed.
Is that him?
That's him.
So that's the same deer?
That's him.
God, he blew from last year.
That's what 8 months of feeding a deer that basically has nothing to eat and giving him protein and nutrition.
If you have never believed in supplemental feeding and what it can do, if this doesn't show you, brother, I don't know what will.
Man, I'm telling you, tonight you're gonna be hunting a true swamp deer. I mean, this deer lives in the marshes in places people don't even want to go.
How far is it from any food, any standing grain? Has he got an extra point back here?
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
He's a mainframe 8 with a split brow and sticker off the back. You're talking 6-7 miles to the nearest crop field.
My next question is how far y'all walk in?
Well, It's a little bit of a walk, but it's not a bad one.
It blew my mind how much this deer had grown from 3 to 4 with the supplemental feeding monster meal. I mean, last year I looked at the deer and I was like, I don't think I'll shoot him.
Last year, Chris Ward was seeking redemption and wanted to kill a mature Maryland buck.
We don't have any mega giants, but we do have a couple of good bucks. Hopefully one of them's gonna come in tonight.
This nice-looking full-bodied deer made an appearance and gave Chris an opportunity with his expedition bow.
Super Freak, look at that cutting diameter. Rick James Super Freak right there. This is one of the deer that I targeted. He came in, gave me a 31-yard shot, and I laid it to it. He didn't run 100 yards, and I'm tickled with it, and I'm gonna take him home to Virginia, and I'm gonna be proud of him.
This year, Jason is hoping for that same opportunity on Ward's buck.
Make sure you subscribe and like the page. On top of that, make sure you click the little notification bell. That way you'll be one of the first ones to know when a new video drops.
Jason Bowers is in Maryland hunting after a buck named Ward's buck. Danny Calloway has fed this deer monster meal all year long, and he's grown dramatically in rack size in just a single year.
I think I can hunt deer anywhere in the country. I've hunted whitetails plumb to Washington State, all the way from here in the mountains of Virginia. But in Maryland, if you aren't ready to fight literally hundreds of mosquitoes the size of a Dodge Ram pickup truck every night, you might as well stay at the house, because I'm telling you, man, that is probably the toughest part of the hunt every single day. We've got the game figured out. First day in, first time setting. This is bound to be a good sign.
It's gonna be a good night. Tonight, we got our scent off, the game's on.
Can't believe every time I come up here, I'm literally hunting these deer within just a couple of miles of the Atlantic Ocean. It's crazy. All right, here comes a deer. I can't tell what it is.
A couple of does show up early in the hunt.
Here we go, first afternoon. There's nothing worse than getting dressed and getting sprayed down at the truck and absolutely getting eat up by mosquitoes. I have never seen, I don't know where Danny's put me, because I have never seen this many mosquitoes in my life. And they're all together in one spot. They are flat out eating me and Eric up. Us Virginia boys ain't ready for this.
Day one in the tree, it's getting the last 20 minutes of light. I honestly was thinking that it was over, that we were done for the night. And man, Danny said that this buck was like clockwork.
After a long day's wait, Jason is excited to see what he came in for. Ward's buck.
Right there he is, right there. Literally.
I know. Every person watching this is gonna say something about the deer being at a feeder. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is 100% legal in the state of Maryland to bait deer and hunt them over it. If you've never hunted a whitetail in a swamp, good luck, because without some kind of supplemental feed or something to bring them in, you're never gonna see them.
In a tough state like Maryland, because it can give you humble pie if you let it. It's a great big deer, beautiful big coastal Maryland buck.
Subscribe to our channel, like it, you're going to get that little notification bell, it's going to go off, let you know when something new hits. Follow, subscribe. Happy hunting this fall. We love everybody. Thank you again.
Jason Bowers is in Maryland hunting a buck named Ward's buck. After waiting all day, Ward's buck has shown up at the feeder and is ready to be harvested.
With Jason in the tree and it being the first time he's been out this year, I know what's fixing to happen.
Right there he is, right there. Literally. Don't move.
It's a great big deer, beautiful big coastal Maryland buck.
This is a super, super cool swamp buck. I mean, he's tall tined, he's got trash coming off, brow tines going everywhere.
There's getting ready to be blood all over the coastal Maryland ground.
Another one bites the dust, baby. What you said to say. Well, you got a golf cart right to him. I want to wait on Danny to actually recover the deer because he's put so much work into this spot. He's fed this deer or these deer in that feeder monster meal all year long. We got pictures of that deer last year and this year, and when you put them side by side, you can't argue with what monster meal does. It does exactly what they say it does. So it's a sweet, sweet night, man.
Well, there's nothing like looking forward to a hunt all year and ending up not being able to go. And then your buddy Jason sends you that text with a picture of the deer on the ground.
The only thing that I regret is the fact that Ward wasn't sitting here to be hunting. This was supposed to be his hunt, it was supposed to be his deer. Thanks, Ward.
Unbelievable.
Is those new Victory arrows, those VOPs. I mean, they're a smaller shaft, weighted forward, talking 32 yards, and it blew plumb through the deer and stuck probably 6-8 inches in the ground, like to have not got it out. VAP Elite 350 arrow, gonna be a game changer. What do you think, man?
Did you get it?
Yeah,
Come on,
I
man.
smoked
You
him.
got
Yeah,
All right, man.
he's come in at last light. I mean, I smoked him. He didn't run 50 yards.
Good deal.
So I wanted to wait for you to come get him. I mean, you put a lot of work into it, so.
Well, man, that deer, I mean, he was the biggest deer in here.
Well, I appreciate you letting me hunt him.
Oh, man, I'm
Or,
tickled. I'm
let me rephrase that. I appreciate Ward not coming and letting me hunt him.
Oh, yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right, well, let's get back in this swamp and find him.
Been watching this deer a long time, man. I mean, all summer.
Holy crap. Dude, look at the character. Look at that extra point coming off the back of his base. That split brow. Dead ringer. That's a cool deer, man.
Oh, man, he's beautiful. I mean, this is just a marsh buck, man. I mean, these deer got no crop fields to feed on out here.
How far is the closest, like, crop field, cornfield, or bean field? I mean,
As the crow flies, probably 6-7 miles from here.
God, man, it's a long ways. I mean, it is. You were super, super deep back in this swamp, and Danny's been feeding monster meal all year long to these deer, and I mean, it pays off. I mean, when you see the pictures from this deer as a 2-year-old and 3-year-old, it's unreal.
Yeah, he was basically a 4-pointer last year with no brows and no trees. And that's what he put on in a year.
Wow. Well, I'm tickled to death, man. I couldn't be happier. Danny Calloway is one big deer killing fool here in Maryland in the swamps.
He is the swamp ninja.
He is.
Well, I tell you what, I'm glad Jason Bowers was behind the bow tonight, because Chris Ward was supposed to hunt this deer, and I do not feel like chasing this deer all through the swamps and the marshes all night long trying to find him. So, I love you, Chris, but my boy put it on him.
Oh, we hammered him. He didn't go nowhere.
Wish you were here.
Yeah, me too, man. I wish Chris was here, but worked out for us.
We are a team. Red Rising's a team. And of course, I wanted to go shoot Ward's buck. It was my buck. But I was as tickled as I could be that Jason got that deer on the ground. And it's now on his wall. And I'm allowed to go look at it anytime I want.